Sound works. Crazy G is here. I am just going to post this video since my notifications don't really work anymore because I don't stream often, so YouTube doesn't want to send notifications out. But we have a interesting 820-3115 has a really interesting power issue that first I thought maybe the sleep sensor was bad because of how the customer described it, and then I thought, you know what, maybe it's a motherboard issue, and we'll get to why I thought that. Okay. So we have an 820-3115. This is a 2012 A1286, as many of you guys know. So the issue we're having, so it'll run an ASD fine. Once it gets going, it's fine, but sometimes it won't turn on intermittently. So it did this yesterday. It powered down randomly in ASD, and then went to hit the power button, and no power. And of course, as soon as 1 second, my touchscreen won't work. Give me 1 second. Let me just send this person a message. Okay, so like I said, it won't turn on. Okay, my brain is confused. All right, where was I? All right, so we have an 820-3115 with a power issue. Basically, what's going on with this? Actually, you know, I'm going to repeat myself again because I forgot to hit record for the pre-recorded version. Okay. Oh, never mind. I can't even do that because my drives aren't connected to the computer. Anyway. So this will run fine once it gets going, but sometimes intermittently it will not turn on. You hit the power button and nothing happens. Our fan does not spin. So the first thing we want to check here is our power button working? So with the keyboard connected, I'm going to measure voltage on SMC on-off L. Of course, it's right in the way. Here's my meter right here. Here's our meter, so we're going to put one lead on ground. And I'm just going to stick it in the screw hole, and we're going to measure SMC on-off L. The first thing I want to establish is, does our power button work? So we have 3.4 volts on our SMC on-off L line. We hit our power button, and we see it does go down, and the fan just started spinning and then stopped. So we hit it, it's pulsing, it's being told to turn on, yet it's not actually turning on. Just let's see, this is on battery power. So the reason why I have it on battery power is for a reason. We'll get to it later. But it is 11 volts. Next thing I want to check is the S5 rails. So PP3V3 S5 is 0 volts. PP5V S5 is 1 volt. But you know what? Let's try something. So with it being 1 volt, let's hit the power button. What does this do? What do you know? 5 volts, release, off. So 5 volts or 1 volt. 1 second. On Dell's. I don't nowhere on the website says that. Anyway, so 5 volts. All right. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. So here's our PP5VS5 voltage. All right, PB5VS 5 voltage, 1 volt, power button, 5 volts. We release the power button, it goes back to 0. So something really funny is going on. So next what I want to check is, does it happen if I plug in the charger? So if we plug in the charger, same thing. Let's unplug the battery now. Same thing. So let's go ahead and have a look on the charger. So on the charger we're at 5 volts, but not on battery. Alright, this is strange. Volts. Okay, let's have a look at the schematic. So we need a board view for an 820-30115. Where's 3115? My brain does not want to work today, as most days it doesn't. But today is a little bit more extreme. So I want to look at our, here's what I suspect. There's something going funny with the enables in this circuit. There's something really off with the enables in this circuit, that it's not being enabled on battery power. So I was poking around here last night on this board and I left because I was tired. This little transistor right here. So let's go to the schematic. And I will look at chat since I'm probably behind. So real quick, we have our P5VS3ENL, right? We have a few outputs right here, P5VS3EN trip. This appears to be the enable for the entire circuit, or actually right here, PV3V3 reg enable. So here's the enable, and this is going to come from right here. So here's our enable for the circuit. So we know something is going on, that the whole circuit's probably not being enabled. But then again, I just hit the power button and now it's chiming and turning on again. So it's something really strange. So what I want to look at is, why is this intermittently happening? Where does this come from? Where in the world is this? Why isn't this being told to turn on? So we're going to keep following this back. Let's look at the board view, see where this went. We see this comes from this little chip over here. Now, here's a real interesting one right here, is the SMC PMG2EN, which comes from the SMC. So this is going to enable everything pretty much, and that's probably going to be our issue. So we need to take the board out, get it to not turn on the bench, and then check some signals to see which one is missing, if it's either going to be U7941 that's bad, or the SMC is bad. Cam is here, Nasser is here, Adam is here. At least Anel's not here. And Rob is here. Wow, 30 people watching? That's as most as I had in like months. Alright, let's take this board out. If I could find my screwdriver. Alright, and let me guess, it's going to work now that it's out of the enclosure, even though we had nothing plugged into it. Intermittent issues suck. Many of you guys know that. When stuff works sometimes and doesn't work other times. Okay, there we go. It doesn't work. It's like it's okay, so it just went to orange light, which tells me it's in SMC bypass. Now nothing. Alright, there's no green light now. What is PP bus voltage? Is our SMC even running? SMC running. 12.59 volts. You are running, but no green light. Okay, now we have fan spin. Now what I have to do is get it to not fan spin. There we go. No fan spin. Don't you spin. Normally I want that fan to spin, but it's not spinning, which is what I want. Alright, we're going to go to microscope. And I keep knocking stuff over, like my iron tip holder, but that's okay. The post in the Facebook group probably helped because YouTube doesn't send out the notification. Yeah, that's why I did that. YouTube doesn't like my channel at all. Alright, so there's our chip right here. That looks okay. I have a 12-inch intermittent boot loop, or intermittent boot up and no crash. Yeah, that's a dead CPU. That's a dead CPU. Send 12-inch to Nicira to reball CPU. Alright, let me flip the board around to the right way. Let me first check which rails I don't have. So Caroline is here. Alright, PP5VS5 is 5 volts now. Imagine that. Okay, so this circuit's working perfectly fine. And yes, I was doing stuff here last night. Sorry. Sorry for the late. Okay, so this circuit's now working perfectly fine. But it's not working on battery power. What's that tell us? So, what would something mean? All right, let's think about this for a second. All right, we're still not turning on. I want you guys to think about this and tell me in chat. If we get a board that isn't being able to start up on battery power, but it is on the charger, yet our battery is totally fine outputting the correct voltage, what's responsible of being able to take that battery voltage and send it to the rest of the board? Maybe there's something wrong with the chip that generates that. In chat, tell me what that chip is. This is just a theory. I don't know. All I know, there's something really screwy going on. Please, bro, replace CPU. Yes. Yes, ISL 6259. This looks fine, though. But it's a theory. So here's what my theory is that under battery power, this chip can't supply the load. So my theory right here is that the ISL 6259 cannot supply load under battery power. Something is screwed up internally that, for whatever reason, the SMC is telling. My very first board repair was something like this. You would hit the power button, the fan would spin one time around and then shut off. If you held it down, it would turn on. This is something very similar behavior. So my guess is what's going on is the ISL can't supply load. You hold the power button down. It tries to, but it just can't supply that peak load to power the board, so it shuts right off. That's my theory. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is replace the ISL 6259. This makes sense because this board has no liquid damage. Now, as many of you guys know, stuff just doesn't fail for no reason. There's always a cause on everything. So something has to cause something to fail. It's not just going to die. The one thing you commonly see is people using knockoff chargers, which could very well kill this chip. However, our voltage output is fine for it. So my guess is there's also something screwy going on between communication with the SMC and the ISL6259. Now this is completely a theory. This could be wrong. It may not work after we replace the ISL, but I want to try it. I want to see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and replace the ISL6259. I ordered a huge amount of these things before the virus, because of the virus actually. It's kind of cool, because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get any from China. Tim, how are you doing, says Cam. I'm doing okay, Cam. A little bit stressed, but other than that, I'm fine. Virus stuff where you don't know if you're going to get MacBooks when everybody is not going out is concerning. But otherwise, I am fine. Do you sell ISLs? Nope, I just use them. I have no idea who Alyssa is, Cam, so I cannot answer that. So both times I tried to turn this board on with charger, it turned on once and then didn't. So we should know if this works. What the heck? Why? Heating element, are you dying? Bad time for heating element to die. I have a spare, I think. That was the tiniest amount of flux. I'm being more sensible now with flux. I won't even add solder anymore. What about Q7055? That could be the issue. Q7055 could very well be the issue. But you have to remember, Q7055 is just a transistor. It rarely dies. It can die, but it rarely dies. I'd be more suspect of the ISL. Could be wrong, like I said, but we're going to try the ISL. I bought them from Lewis. I might have bought all of the rest of them. I don't remember. I bought a lot. We don't even need to add solder here. That's plenty. So we're just going to put a little bit more flux. And that's it. Oh shoot, which one is the new chip and which one is the old chip? I put them both down at the same place. Okay, this one's definitely the old chip. This is the new chip. Wes is here. Okay, not now, hands, really? Go into place, there you go. The heck, I can't even solder anymore. I feel like a complete beginner soldering this chip. Alright, first thing we need to get rid of is this conical tip. I still need to send you my laptop for repair. One of these days I'll get around to it. I appreciate it. Turn our temperature down because we're way at 840. It's a little bit too hot for this tip. There. Now let's see if this turns on normally. So, although I probably wouldn't trust it. It was soldered by Dum Dum. Okay, now we get no green light. Alright, what did I bridge? Let's measure PP bus again. Oh, come on, that wasn't that bad of soldering. Yeah, 0 volts. Alright, what did I bridge here? That's fine. I don't see any bridges. Did I put the chip on the wrong darn way? Alright, did I seriously put the chip on the wrong way? No, I couldn't have done anything like that. No, I didn't. It's on the right way. Alright, so 0 volts on PP bus. It could very well have been a .ISL. We need to check PP3V4 too. So this is a lovely thing that happens sometimes. Is on boards like this, we don't know the full picture, you know, with all the weird intermittent issues. Come on, give me green light. Or at least... Alright, what's 3V42 voltage? That's what we need to know. We won't get anything on PP bus if we don't have 3V42 voltage. 3V42 voltage is 3.4 volts. Sixteen, 0. Alright, we gotta replace the ISL again because no short on PP bus. Yep, we got either a dead ISL or I screwed up the soldering on it, which happens. Oh well. Soldering was perfectly fine. There's no bridges under it. Sometimes you'll see like bridges that come from the center pad. But that was fine, so I don't know what the heck. You will replace it again. Alright, there's no chance that is screwed up now. That is perfect. Let's let it cool down. And we'll see if it works. It's kind of hot to turn on. I don't want to burn the board. I will clean the flux around it though, because sometimes, rarely, with the ISL is really picky with flux, and you can get little issues with flux around it, so I'll just clean it up. I've had that happen more than once where it's like 12.40 volts or something. Because of flux around the ISL, it's just enough to induce a little bit of capacitance, and then you get the whole circuit. Not capacitance, voltage leakage. Okay, now we get a green light again. We get a green light on the charger, but we still have no fan spin. So PP bus voltage is now 12.56. It's normal. PP3V3S5 voltage is... How is the board repair business? At the moment, slow. For everyone. Because people aren't going to go out to get their computer fixed when they know there's a deadly virus going around. That's 3 volts. That's 5 volts. So I'm still getting mail-in, and I'm still getting boards from medical equipment like MRIs. So I still have work, so I'm good. What is PM Sleep S4L? Ultimately, that's just going to tell us it's not turning on. But PM Sleep S4L. And the phone is ringing. 1 second. Okay, I completely missed my measurement. The stream sucks. And our green light just shut off, of course. We have 12.56 volts, 0 volts, but our green light shut off. Why did our green light shut off? This is almost starting to seem like SMC-ish. This is very SMC-ish, especially with the power button. Now my question is, okay, there we go, and our fan is spinning now. Alright, you know what? This has got to be junk under something. It's got to be. There's no corrosion visibly. Let's look. We have some flux here, but that's from the factory. That's our clock chip. There's got to be corrosion under something. So my guess is, so the thing that's going to be interacting when you hit the power button is going to be the SMC. My guess is might be something under the SMC. My ISL theory was wrong. We have a little corrosion here, but that's not for anything that's going to cause our issue. The SMC itself looks okay. I mean, there's nothing visibly around it, but the board was very, very dusty. So sometimes, rarely, what you'll get is a little bit of dust that gets under there that collects a little bit of moisture, and then you get a little bit of corrosion under the chip that causes it not to turn on. So that could very well be the issue too. Might have a cracked ball, but I don't know. This is a really weird one. It could be a bad SMC itself. I did replace U7501 last night, and I did replace the little enable transistor, and that did not solve the issue. So my guess is that there's either going to be an issue with junk under the SMC, and you know what? What do you know? What do you see there? There is junk under the SMC. See that? What's that? That's corrosion. Look at that. Let's look under the microscope on this side. Are you kidding me? All right, sorry about that. I had another phone call. And a lot of people will call, and then when they hear the price is going to be over $50, they never come back. Look at that. We have corrosion under the SMC for sure. Where is it? Where's our SMC? See that? Or you don't see that? Maybe you don't. Okay, now I can see what you guys see on the screen. Corrosion. It's hard to hold steady. So, we know kind of our issue is going to be junk under the SMC, so we're going to remove that edge bonding and reflow it. And that should solve our issue. Yeah, it's funny. I've even had people with like retinas, like the new 2017. I tell them, oh, it's $4.19. Oh, $4.19? No, $400, $15. And then it's all, oh, well, I can't afford that and this and that. Well, why did you buy a $2,000 computer? I just don't know. You know. So what's strange about this month, March was actually the busiest month in the history of my business. I made more money this month than I ever have in a single month before. So it's kind of interesting what's going to happen in April. You know, every time it slows, so there's usually two modes to my business. There's no in between. It's usually either completely slammed and overwhelmed, or dead. And I'm in the dead stage right now. So it's very possible that it's going to pick back up and be incredibly busy very soon. It's just depending, it's just a strange situation. Because April's usually the busiest month. Usually. So I'm really curious to how it's going to affect the business. I'm not worried for business-wise on my aspect. I mean, I could get through several months with it being dead. But it's interesting. Time will tell. The edge bonding on these older boards suck because they've been on there for so long, and they're brittle and they break and they stay under the board, and it's just annoying. It's really annoying to remove the edge bonding. Have you repaired any ventilators? Nope. I've thought about it. But a ventilator probably will have COVID inside, and I kind of want to avoid COVID. We're going to do a video as soon as DigiKey ships me this part on this MRI board. It'll be kind of an interesting one. Easy board repair, but an interesting one. I would fix a ventilator if it hasn't been used. Like, I don't want to work on something that has viruses inside. I mean, if I didn't have a risk of infecting anybody else that would probably die from it if they got it, then I'd absolutely do it. But that's not the case. Come on, little edge bonding. And that was not even on camera. Oh well. Such a pain. Sometimes, like on the airs, it comes off so easy, and then sometimes on these boards, it just really doesn't. 50 people watching. That's amazing. I'm used to 10 or 9 or 8 or 6. Unused failing ventilators. Does Apple make them? Probably. We were all quarantined and bored. I could understand that. This whole virus thing is just so old now, but it's not going to go away anytime soon. What can you do? The best thing, at least in my opinion, is just try and keep some form of normalcy. This is like Louis Rossmann. We do the same thing. What happens if you ignore the edge bonding and just apply heat and pluck the dead? So what happens if you do that is the balls will float. It'll be uneven. The balls will be like lower on one side and higher on the other, and it generally won't work. You'll have to reball the SMC. So it's super crucial you get all of this out. That's why I'm spending a lot of time to get all of it out, because I don't want to have to reball this chip, because it's kind of a pain to reball. You don't really want to reball one of these unless you have to. Let's have a look now and see. How it is. Okay, so we have another little piece stuck here. All right, can you guys even see this? Maybe. There we go. There we go. It's out. A little tiny bit is probably okay, but just try and avoid it. Like, this is too much. Alright, you know what? I'm not going to be able to successfully get all of this out. There's just too much under there, and I don't want to break the board. So we're just going to reball this chip. And that leads a door to failure for me, being laughed at. Reballing it 2 or 3 times, but we'll get it. So let's just reball this chip. I just don't... There's too much under there, and I don't want to jam my tweezers under there and possibly crack the chip. So I think reballing is going to be the better option here, which happens sometimes. You could technically reflow it and see if it works, but sometimes it just doesn't turn out well. So I'm just going to reball it. We're going to use nice slow heat from far away. Well, sort of far away, about 1 inch. And then once it's liquid, we can go ahead and remove it. You don't want, yeah, see, so you don't want to delaminate the chip, and you could do that by pulling if it's not fully melted yet. But this is exactly why you don't want the edge bonding there. Is see that how it's over the ball? Well, what happens is if you were to do this with the edge bonding there, when it heats up, that little bit of edge bonding is going to get combined into the ball and sometimes go in between the chips, so it acts as like a little insulator. So that's what you don't want, and that's what we have to avoid. So otherwise, this looks okay. Just had a little bit of corrosion, but nothing too bad. It's all gone now, but we have to reball that chip. Let me go back and check chat. How many repairs you have got going on today? A few. This flux is amazing. It is. It's NC569. NC560, I mean, not 569. Yeah, see all that edge bonding there? This, if we were to just reflow this, it would not have turned out well at all. Too much heat is also not good, so keep your heat down. Basically what we have to do is get all this junk off, and any pads that are kind of oxidized, we have to take care of that. Many of you guys know that. NC560 is not available in Europe. Hold off. When I get more and when all this virus nonsense is better, then I could probably send you a tube. But I'm not really going to spend money on stuff that I don't need right now because, yeah. Tim, have you been practicing proper social distancing? Absolutely. I normally don't go around people anyway, but even more so now, I'm not going around people. When customers drop off devices, they leave it outside. I wait 2 to 3 minutes until they're gone, and then I will go outside with an N95 mask on, get the device, bring it back inside, disinfect it, then take off the mask. If I have to go in the store, I have an N95 that I wear. Yeah. So I'm pretty protected. But no, I'm generally not too concerned because are most repairs walk-in or mail-in? It's kind of both now. It's like a mixture, 50-50 now. Generally, I'm not one that needs to be concerned about social distancing because I'm never really around people to begin with. At least now, with everything going on, it gives me an excuse to be more antisocial. Alright, phone call. Was my mic on? Oh well. I think I left my mic on. Power. Another 1278 coming in. Is this filmed from home? No, it is not. Are you talking to me? Wait. No, there's been I've had a couple people that have like told me that I thought you went out of business, and I don't get where that even came from. I guess the video the other day where I was moving my stuff home, maybe that came from that, but people were being weird. But no, this is not a home location. This is my store. There's the front that nobody's allowed in anymore. This is not a home location. All right, so let's get back to reballing this chip. All right, sorry about the phone call. Yes, I am back at my store. So basically what I have to do is these little pads that are gray, I want to scrape away at those. So just to take the oxidation off. That's a little layer of oxidation there that's going to prevent our solder from sticking. So I'm just going to do that. Anyone that looks a little gray, I'm just going to scrape a little bit, and that's going to allow the solder to kind of get in there and remove all that oxidation. We don't have to go crazy. Don't mess up the chip. You know, don't just lightly put your tweezers on there. I'm actually surprised. There has not been many angry people about the drop-off procedure, because some people are really weird about coming into the store. You know, they don't trust you. But people have been more than fine leaving their device at the door. And then I go out there with the N95 after they're gone, so my risk of infection is low. You know what I mean? It's not crazy. But most people have been good about it here. There's been some that haven't been, but for the most part, people have been really, really good about it. There's some people that just don't, if you tell them that's how it is, they just won't come. That's fine. I don't want them here anyway, if they're doing that. I'm going to switch to a tip. Sometimes a really defined tip is better for stuff like this, especially this like little conical one that fits right on the pad that we can tin. Will work really nice for this. Sometimes anyway. Yeah, see that? That's what we want. We just want a little bit of solder on all those, just so when we drop the chip down or when we reball it, that there's solder that sticks there. Because it's annoying when the balls don't stick on it and then you have to redo it. So we just want to make sure all these get solder on them. That should be good enough. So now we know all of them can accept solder. We're going to go ahead and wick it. I got an SMC from a 00165 that has 6 oxidating pads. Please check your Chinese SMCs if you want to reball it. I don't buy SMCs that are pre-balled from China because they're not programmed. I've done that when I started. Yeah, I did that when I started. They all didn't work. Don't buy SMCs from China. Pull them from donor boards only, because the Chinese, they definitely are not programming them. Unless you have a factory source, which I'm sure they don't. And I'm pretty sure the SMCs are programmed after they are on the board. I can't be for sure of that, but I think they're programmed through the JTAG connector after they're soldered on the board. Maybe if somebody knows that, they can tell me, like one of the smart people here. But I don't think they're programmed off the board. All right, Who is messaging me? Like, phone's going off like crazy. What the heck? So, why is JTAG a bad thing? Because it's a bad thing. It kills the entire board when you get corrosion on it. So we can't have that. Where's my stencil? We cannot have an Apple board left for dead because there's an SMC on it. So screw SMCs. Does Enel stalk you? Probably yes. Actually, probably yes. But that's okay. I'm pretty sure Enel stalks everybody that he knows. So yeah, don't give Enel your social media info, or you will be stalked and be bugged and messaged and have like every single thing you posted for the last 10 years be commented on and liked and stuff, so it blows up your phone with notifications. That's what Enel does. Watch out for Enel. Hear noise outside. Someone is here, I think. Enel is searching for acceptance. Nah. Just don't call him here because I know then the SMC reball will be screwed up. So yeah, let's just not talk about Enel. It's not lined up good. Line up, little stencil, little board. Little SMC, line up. Why are you using Captain Tape? Don't use, because the SMC is going to slide around. I do sometimes and I don't sometimes. Depends on my mood. With my hands shaky today and being like half asleep permanently all day, then I'm going to use Captain Tape. Maybe Enel is York. Who's York? Alright, let's get some paste. This is probably going to be screwed up because the paste is wet and I'm too lazy to dry it out. My kids are jumping around me and I could reball an SMC without Captain Tape, so could you. Yeah, but I don't want to do that right now. Some days I do. See earlier videos. I used to do it with no Captain Tape, but Okay, let's clean the excess solder paste off just lightly. I want to try something. So this is going to be an experiment. Can I dry the paste out in the stencil? So let's try and dry the paste out in the stencil itself. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea or a bad idea. Probably a bad idea, but we'll find out. Probably a bad idea. Now we're raising our temp. You want nice and slow heat. If you heat too fast, they're going to jump out of the stencil, and that's what we see right now. So nice slow heat, pull away, and they will start to melt. And this is going to end up a disaster. Told you guys. Phone call. 1 second. Hi, how can I help you? Yes. Okay, yeah, go ahead and just put your device on the black shelf outside, and we'll be right out. Alright, give me a second, guys. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I have to grab a device, wipe it down, stuff like that. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. And actually, I'm not back because I have to return a call, but we could do that on the phone. No, I just had to wipe down a device. It was really, really dirty. I don't know why people do that, but it's gross. But okay, that person never called and didn't answer their phone. To reply to a different one. Alright, I'm sorry guys for the spotty stream. It's kind of... You guys know the situation. It's really busy. Didn't I just talk about how it was dead and then it gets really busy after being dead? Well, guess what? So here's our SMC. Let's give this another nice little reflow. And make sure all the balls seat. Because some aren't for sure. There's a bunch that aren't. This is going to be horrible. Go in there, go in there. Go in there. Go. There, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and pull this off in a second. Is anyone else recording himself from home? I'm not at home. A1534. Okay. Do you ever get frustrated with repairs? Yes, I do get frustrated fairly often. Not so much anymore. You know what, actually, I take that back. I don't really get frustrated anymore unless I'm in a really bad mood from other external factors. But yeah, it can be frustrating. I mean, it can be frustrating. I'm generally pretty patient with them now. But especially when you're starting, yeah, it can be very frustrating. Like, yeah, like when you kill a CPU or something, that's like one of the worst feelings in the world. You just want to give up. I get mostly frustrated with customers, not actual repairs. Like customers that don't trust me, or customers that think I'm trying to rip them off, or customers that think I changed their password. Stuff like that frustrates me. The actual repair doesn't. It's the nonsense that goes around the repair. I need a better pair of tweezers. Customers can be frustrating from time to time. Look at that, beautiful. One ball got broken off, 2 balls. We can fix that very easily. I'm not mad about the password now. I'm just saying, it's stuff like that that frustrates me, not the actual repair. Get down there, little SMC ball. No, don't stick to my tweezers there. Stay there. Stay there. Good little SMC. It's weird they don't trust you. It's not like you're doing this out of your house when you have an accident. Yeah, most people are fine, but a lot of people aren't. I even had a customer the other day ask me, well, how do you know what you're doing? How do you know it's this? And that it's just like, you know what? Go get a second opinion if you don't trust me and then come back. Because guess what? No, Martin, you're incorrect. I actually don't ship motherboards in ESD bags at all. How to trigger an electronics engineer, like Martin. I ship motherboards in a paper bag. Now we can see Rob and Martin both lose their minds. One little ball left. I just pushed it out of the stencil. Should be right here. Yep. We're good. We're going to put this SMC back on and we should get a working board. Rob is running late. Got to run for now. Okay, sounds good, Rob. Another phone call. Hi, how can I help you? Yes. How's it going? I don't. Okay. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. If it's liquid damage on a MacBook Air, it's depending on what's wrong, the price could be a little bit different. If it doesn't turn on, you're probably looking at a logic board repair, sometimes trackpad, sometimes keyboard, but usually it's just a logic board repair, which would be 250. If it's just trackpad and keyboard with no liquid damage to the board, it's going to be a little bit cheaper than that. But we'd really need to see it in order to give you an accurate quote. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're pretty much doing appointment only. So if you want to bring it by, I could take down your info. Our drop-off procedure is a little bit different due to the virus. So basically, I take down your info and then Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm really, really sorry. I'm just busy right now. And I'm replying to messages, I'm answering phone calls, and fixing boards and streaming. Tim, would you rather be stuck on an island with Louis Rossman or Paul Daniels? I can't answer that. I'm not picking favorites. What do you charge to look at a device what do you charge to look at the device to give someone a price point? Nothing. Diagnostics are completely free here. If you send a device and you decline the quote, then there's no charge unless you ship it to us, and there's a $25 return shipping charge, which is to be expected. If you bring it into the store, it's perfectly free. Now, if you own a store and are bringing devices to me and wanting me to tell you exactly what's wrong on the board so you can go back and replace what's wrong on the board, then no, we don't do that. I've had a few people do that, and no. You cannot bring something here just for me to tell you the exact chip that's wrong on the board and then replace it at your own store. So no. Like if you have motherboard diagnostics and you want me to tell you the exact chip, no. It would just be, quote for bad motherboard. So I have to make that clear because I've had that happen before and I've had stores do that. So no, that's not happening. I think I hear a FedEx truck. Probably here for me. Okay. Put some flux down. I finally got some isopropanol alcohol coming. Finally. That really was hard to get, but I got it. 4 gallons of it, which should be enough for a little while. Because I need that for, like battery removals and stuff, and it's been really hard to get, so. They're not really giving it to consumers, but I let them know, hey, we fix medical equipment. We need this to clean boards after ultrasonic cleaning, and they gave it to us, so it's a good thing. But it's kind of hard to get right now. Okay, hopefully I don't screw this up heating it up. Hopefully it goes into place nice and easy. Yep, just did, I think. Alright, so we got fan spin maybe like 1 out of 5 times before. Let's let this cool, then we'll test it. Here's our fan. Can't believe I've been working on this board for 2 hours. My brain is not working properly today. You know, like the MacBooks with the spinning beach ball with the failing hard drive cable? That's my brain today. Alright, so fan spin, unplug. Remember, we'd get this about 1 out of 5 times it would fan spin, or 1 out of 3 times. Let's do 1 out of 3 times. Plug it in. Darn it, no fan spin. Oh, yes it did. It fan spun. It just took a minute. Alright, so that's 2 out of 3. Plug it in. 3 out of 3. It's plugged in. No fan spin. Let's hit the power pads now. Okay, sad, it didn't turn on that time. Let's try it again. So far, 3 out of 4 times it turned on. And nothing again. That's sad. Alright, 3 out of 5 times. Now let's see if it works with the power button to see if our issue's solved. But it doesn't seem like it does not seem like it's going to be solved. Which probably means the SMC is dead. In that case, I don't have any 3115 SMCs anymore because it's an old board. Yeah, see, just when I said the S word, the slow word. As soon as I said it was slow, it got super busy, and now there's so many repairs coming. Never say the S word. Alright, power button now. It didn't turn on at all, like maybe once out of 10 times. And it turns on now. So before it would turn on maybe like once out of every 10 times on the battery. So that's once, twice. The fan is spinning. I'm watching the fan. I guess I'll plug in the screen so you guys can see, so people don't get paranoid of me. Alright, so screen is plugged in. We're going to let this do it 10 times. If it can do it, we'll do it 6 times. So 6 times on battery with no issues, and I'll call this fixed. So 1, wait for screen. Screen is on, off. We'll wait 5 seconds. So 1, 2. Fan spin. Screen. Hold power button. Two, 3 times. I think this is fixed. It wasn't doing this before. Yeah, this is fixed. turned on every single time now. So I would be confident in saying this is fixed. We'll ultrasonic it and then call it a repair. When there's no fan spin, still 1256. Yeah. Well, no, it's going to be less. It's on battery. But the issue before, it wasn't turning on battery, and now it is. We replaced the ISL, the SMC, and the 5-volt circuit, so we're good to go. So this, I'm going to put over here. The ultrasonic is not on, so I got to get that on. Let me clean my hands, and then I need to finish wiping down that other device. Flux on my hands. I hate when flux gets on my hands. This MacBook was like just came in, was like really gross. It had like some form of liquid on it that I don't really know what it was, and that's kind of gross. Hopefully it was like a disinfectant mixed with the dirt, but I have a feeling it wasn't a disinfectant. So I wiped it down with the quantitized ammonium chloride cleaner, and then Pure Green 24, which even kills Ebola. It's a super strong one, and now I'm going to spray it with a ethanol-based disinfectant. It doesn't hurt to be too careful in something like this, so. What the heck? My label printer is just spitting out. My label printer just spit out like 50 tickets. What the heck? This thing just malfunctioned. Seriously. No idea what happened there. But whatever. Okay, so this is going to be our next ticket after I'm done here wiping it down. There. Okay, so we're going to work on this one next. This is also an A1278 with the complaint of no power. So we have no power on this. Supposedly no power. You'd be surprised how many no powers actually have power when you test them with a good charger. So we're going to plug this in. We get no green light. No, that's not right. So if you guys ever wonder why sometimes the boards don't turn on with my charger, focus. Probably can't see that. Yeah. That one nub that's all messed up. Yeah, my charger kind of sucks. Okay, we have no green light on the charger on this. It's completely dead. Let's go ahead and take the bottom cover off. Where's my shoe's untied. I should probably take care of my shoe before I fall on my face and break my neck. Hey, at least if that happened on camera, the views would go up. One thing I was thinking about is, can the virus live in the fan? Like if it sucks in, if somebody sneezes and the fan is on and it sucks it in, maybe, but I don't think it could be aerosolized like that. That would be really unlucky if that happened. So this one was supposedly just randomly died, didn't turn on. Who thinks random means liquid? I think random means liquid. Because you'd be surprised how many random not turn ons actually had random liquid that spilled on it. No random liquid? What fun is that? I'm going to clean up a little bit. Okay. $12.78. Plug it in. So we have no green light. So why is there no green light? So first thing, as always, is going to be 3V42. Someone is here, I think. Hi, how can I help you? Yes. Yes. Okay. Just go. Yeah, just go ahead and leave it on the little black shelf outside of our door, and then I'll be right out once you're back in your car. No problem. All right, 1 second, guys. I gotta disinfect another device. Okay, many apologies. I'm back. I like the phone strategy, straight to the point instead of hour-long business name and shilling. I hate that. Yeah, like I hate saying, "Oh, hi, this is TCRS Circuit. How can I help?" No, just simple. How can I help you? And it works. It works perfect. Okay. So we have no power, no green light. First thing we're going to check is PP3 before 2 voltage, which shows up right over here at the bottom of the board. Here's our meter right here. And that's nothing, 0 volts. So what is our DC in voltage? We could check that right here. And it's 16 volts. But our 3V42 voltage is nothing. So let's check for short. So unplug the battery. And no short. Interesting. Pull the board time. I need a screw holder. Don't mix ammonia and bleach. What do you mean? We use that every single day. We mix ammonia and bleach every single day. That's what we clean everything with, is ammonia and bleach. Ammonia, bleach, and well, I forget what the other one was. I think it was like, I don't know, cyanide or something. No, I use the first line of defense. I use a mixture of Pure Green 24, which is citric acid, and silver ions. It is an EPA registered healthcare disinfectant that is effective against coronavirus, obviously, but also Ebola, HIV, everything like that. And then I also use Lysol all-purpose cleaner, which is quantitized ammonium chloride compounds, which many of you guys know what those are, I'm sure. Probably not. But it's just mainly one of the main disinfectants used in a lot of cleaners. So it gets a mixture of both those, which are perfectly safe with each other, but it's kind of a double power disinfecting like that. And then if they're really bad, I spray them with Lysol or this other stuff I use right here. It's Amphil. This is disinfectant deodorant spray for hospital use. I have several cans of that. Then I have bleach wipes, which those are all reserves. I have FedEx. How's it going? Hey, can you just leave it at the box right there?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Can I get first and last name?
Yes, Tim Herman?
Tim what?
Tim Herman.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
You too. I left the door unlocked. Oh well. Mask time. I remember to lock that door. Oh well. Can't expect people to read signs. Oh well. Do you put them under the UV light? No. Disinfectant's better than UV light, honestly. If you have disinfectant, don't use UV light. If you don't have a UV light, or if you don't have disinfectant, then have a UV light. It's better than nothing. But disinfectant's much better, in my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion, but I like the disinfectant way better. There's bugs. And I see why you're not working too. But you have bugs on your machine. There's bugs. You have bugs in your MacBook. What kind of MacBook has bugs? And a spider. Look at that. There's a spider. There's spider webs. There's literal spider webs and eggs. That's a spider egg right there. There's spider webs and eggs in here. That's a spider egg. That's a spider. What the heck? There's spider webs in here. I've never seen spider webs in a computer. Are you alive, little guy? No, what happened to you? You got like dismembered. It's pretty cool looking. Look at the hairs. There's literal spider webs in this computer. Look at this. There's spider webs and eggs. I can't believe that. And did you like come over here and do something, little spider? Because I think you did. Spider. And over here we have a roach or a worm or some creature that's gross. Gross. Alright, so we're not turning on because of this. There's probably, yeah, look at this. So these are probably caps for 3v42, and I could just like, you get the point. This is no good. This is bad. This is bad for MacBook. This is bad for little MacBook. Don't do this. Don't allow spiders to live and use the bathroom on your MacBook, because that's what this is. Very bad. Shame. I'm going to put in the service report, a spider was found. A spider was found and appeared to have leaked, causing damage to system board. A spider was found and leaked on system. So a dead spider was found that leaked on system board, causing corrosion. Hi, Ben. Ben is here. You are definitely getting ultrasonicked. Alright, 3115 board view. What does this do? So what cap was this? SMC X SMC clock. Yeah, that's going to cause no green light. That's going to cause a bunch of weird stuff. So we need to run. So this right here, we need to run a wire to here on this clock, over to here, to here, and then here we need a wire from this resistor over to this via right here, and then we should get a working board. So let's go ahead and do that now. Anyone else drinking? No, I am not drinking currently. I don't drink, obviously. I just said I don't drink, Martin. Like right after that, I said I don't. I fix MacBooks. That's all I do. Day and night, I fix MacBooks. I do nothing exciting. I am getting annoyed, though, when people don't follow the social distancing thing. It is annoying. I will say that. It is annoying. When they just don't care. The CDC guidelines say prolonged contact 6 feet with a known positive. So your chances of getting it from just somebody walking in briefly is slow. It's not none, but it's slow. I mean, it's low. It's not none, but it is low. So it's like a... It's concerning. I don't want people walk in here, but it's not the end of the world if it happens. But you definitely shouldn't, you know. Hurry up and get it while the hospitals are empty. Yeah, exactly. Just gonna... What the heck happened here? Yeah, that's a scary thing, is you can probably get it a second time. They don't know yet. I'm pretty sure Tim would be immune. Probably not. I probably would not be very well off if I got it. Whatever, you can stay upside down. We need a little jumper. Little jumper wire. Where's my jumper wire? Seemed to have disappeared. Here it is. Okay, this is going to be tricky because the resistor is going to want to move. Okay, I'll just use hot air. Yeah, it's like one of those things, it's a tough situation. Like, I could understand why they don't want anything exported, but it's a hard situation. Alright, I no longer trust this resistor, so we're going to forget that resistor. We're going to grab another one. Now, if they're taking it from other countries, then yeah, that's a big no-no. You shouldn't do that. Are you kidding me? It blew away. Ah, whatever. Another donor board. We're going to run out of donor boards here for taking this one resistor off of. I find it funny anyone walking on without an N95 mask stops it, Ben, and that's what I wear when I deal with people, except for the FedEx guy that just walked in. So if I get COVID, you know what happened. I had N95 since before this happened. Ben, an N95, yeah, an N95, Ben, is different. N95 will stop you from inhaling the virus. Look it up. N95 is a respirator. All right, I think we're gonna work now. Just keep your quick in those. You and your quick in those COVID devices, you can't get infected anymore. I'm not sure what that means 100%, but I'll go with it. All right, so we had no green light before, we had no fan spin, and now we plug it in, and we still get no green light or fan spin. let's check what PP3V42 voltage is now. .252 volts. Now, that spider was right near the 3V42 regulator, but that looks fine. Okay, so what's the input voltage to the 3V42 circuit? So the 3V42 circuit's going to show up right here on U6990. We need to find PPVIN G3 hot PP3V42. So that is going to come from I hear a clicking. So I actually hear a clicking from this board coming from right over here. Let's do a little image with the FLIR and see if we see it. Looks like the CPU is warm. No, I think that's still residual heat from me heating the board and stuff from placing everything else, because the mat is hot. Alright, so let's try and find this click. Let's check voltage coming into the 3V42 circuit. Can we rename 3V42 to PP COVID so it seems relevant? Sure. Alright, so here's our diode for input voltage. 16, 16, 16, 16, 16. Okay, so we're good there. What do we have on PP3V42 feedback? Okay, so we have 3.4 volts there. What the heck? 3.4 volts there, U6990. So we have 3V42, but we don't have it over here. Do we have a broken trace? Maybe so. Here's our filter, which also has some junk in there. See that? 3.4, 3.4, 0.258. This is 3V42 over here, isn't it? Yep. And it's missing right here, but it's not missing here, so we have a broken via. And the phone is ringing again. I made the very bad mistake a few minutes ago of saying the S word I told you, the slow word, because it's not slow anymore. It's just insane now. But what can I say? Can't complain. All right, 3 volts here. Now we don't have. All right, what's PP bus? Okay, so PP bus is 12.30 and So that means our SMC is not running, but the circuit is working, and we have no voltage over here. Now, the SMC needs 3V42 to work. So notice this. We have our via for our 3V42. Actually, you know what? See that cap? No, it's a little bit corroded, but that's probably going under our SMC. So we have a broken trace from our 3V42 circuit over here to our SMC. So our SMC is probably not getting power, hence the no light on charger, and why it's not working. And there's somebody outside again. Anyway, let's run a wire. Let's run a nice big long wire. Go left of that cap about 5 centimeters. Yeah. Looks like board. Anyway, big long wire between here and here. Sorry, the big brown thing caught my eye. I know, no worries. Stick little wire. It's supposed to stay. There you go. Yeah, 3115s do get broken traces because they're getting old. This was probably dropped. I'm actually going to run it on this chip just because it's a little bit better right there. And what do you know? We now get a green light, and what's this? Yeah, I've had RAM fractures, but I see more stuff like this than RAM fractures, honestly. So we get a green light now, and we get a spinning fan. Is that guy that dropped off his laptop still sitting in his car here waiting? I hope not. I better go do that right now. I'm going to grab his laptop and just check it out. Anyway, this is fixed. Ultrasonic. I better just take a look and get him a price, because I think he's like sitting in his car waiting, and I don't know why he's doing that. It's not going to be like it's instant repair by any means. People are weird. I never said it would be now, that it would be fixed. I said like we need to look at it, not like imply like sit and wait for 10 hours. Gross. We have corrosion on the board. All right, corrosion on the board. And top case. Let's give them a price on the top case. We'll do board repair plus parts for top case. Probably have a trackpad. We'll do 275. Let me look at the trackpad first. That's probably going to need to be replaced too, but we'll take care of that. My nose itches. Yes, hi, this is Tim with T-Series Circuit calling about the MacBook you just dropped off a little bit ago. So, it needs a new keyboard, so on those we typically replace the top case, and there is corrosion on the motherboard too. It would be $250 for board repair, but we're pretty much just going to give you the top case at parts cost, so the total would be $275, and that's for the top case with the keyboard and the logic board repair. Is that okay? All right, we'll get the parts ordered for the top case. Thank you very much. All right, so this is board repair and top case. All right, I'm gonna go get lunch, guys. I'm sorry. I need to eat, and I am. You need time to fix for. You need time to fix for. I don't know what that means. Okay, I will see you guys later. I'll probably be back streaming. I have a considerable amount of work, but we fixed two. I have this one to fix. Just need the top case, and that's about it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next stream.